This is a very, very close view of these hyena. And I'm worried the adults may move off now. No, they're just lying down, very close to the back of the vehicle. And I think we are going to hear them vocalize, which is going to be incredible from this close proximity. I've got such a big smile on my face. This is very, very special. And look at how cute this little cub is. Oh. Wow. It's very inquisitive, and sadly it's going to get so close to the vehicle that...
Start and end your day on safari.
He's just sniffing about now. I can see the mother, the one adult. She's just behind the vehicle. The other smaller adult, possibly a male, I can't see. Andrew, can you see the other one?
Just behind the vehicle as well.
Also just behind the vehicle. Now, as beautiful as the sighting is, and as much of a smile as I have on my face, is some reality what we can read into this situation that isn't the best news. And let's see what happens now that the mother returns to the den, because if the smaller two cubs don't appear, that means we wouldn't have seen them out this morning. We just saw one poke its head out this morning very briefly. But if those others two don't come out, so I wonder what the story could be. Let's hope they both do pop out now. And I'm guessing the mother may vocalize. Even that smaller one, which could be a male, may vocalize at the base of the burrow and call out the smaller two cubs if they are still both in there. There's definitely one, but possibly one might be missing. Well, after having spent a few days, I think 2 or 3 days, oh, that's good news, there's one. Now let's hope the second lines. Now, despite the genitalia that you can see, that little cub has, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a male. Both males and females have very similar appendages. Oh, I can see the second and last cub just beginning to poke its head out of the burrow. There it comes. Well, that's good news. I had a feeling that one of them might have been missing. And also great to see that the mother is giving equal attention now to the other youngster that has come out. And despite what you can see, it's hard to believe that we cannot tell whether that's male. Little female, that little cub. They certainly are cute animals when they are young. As most young animals are, there's not many animals that aren't cute when they're young. And the slightly bigger cub, possibly from a different litter, but not evidently being raised by one female. It's quite adventurous, and slowly each day will be expanding the area around the den site that it explores. You'll see how wary the other cubs are. They've just snuck back into the burrow. As the slightly bigger cub arrived. Then they come back out again. Let's see what happens between them. There can often be a lot of tension up to the point of death between hyena cubs, because from birth they do compete very fiercely with one another. Well, I'm really happy that the adults have decided to stick around, because that means the cubs feel safe and are going to continue to play for us as long as the adults stay here. But there will come a point in time where the adults will need to head out and start looking for their next meal. And wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to follow them for a whole night out and experience and encounter everything that they see. Look at her holding her nose up into the wind, sniffing the air. I wonder what she can smell, because it's just got her up off her feet immediately. And they've got incredibly strong senses of smell that they rely on to help track down and find carcasses. either that have died naturally or that have been killed by other predators, and the hyena will then try and scavenge. And I hope you all noticed that very drastic change in body language after she had lifted her nose up into the wind for a few seconds. Come on, they may vocalize now. You can hear gentle murmurings of them beginning a vocalization, and it would be incredible if they went ahead with one, because to hear it from this proximity would be quite something. Also to see the way they lower their heads as they let off this call is really interesting. Speaking of animals calling, a happy memory came back from this morning. To Mvula let off that rasping call of the leopard. That was something very special. Certainly paying a lot more attention to the bigger cub than the two smaller ones, it appears. And here come the adults, at least one of them. Possibly it's time to head out. And the second is now joining. So that's it for the cubs, in all likelihood, until the morning. And the cub knows it. Well, interestingly enough, the two adults have laid down not too far behind the vehicle. Quite ready, but as I say that, the one has continued off. And is it still going?
No, they're still here behind me.
That's standing up.
Both lying.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now you can see these cubs aren't as sure as they were before when the adults were around. And even from a young age you can see that small asserts its dominance over the bigger one. And they're going to be reprimanded now and told to go to sleep. Possibly. Well, obviously, Mum doesn't want to leave her cub alone and just can't stop cleaning it. And now, what could well be the father, or the dominant male, who's notably smaller than the female in hyena society, for the females to be larger and more dominant than the males. Very interesting how they've been toing and froing, planning on leaving, coming back. They've done that twice now. We'll find that they vocalize for us. It almost looks like they're getting ready to do it. Susan in Arkansas, good evening and welcome on board. Susan's asking if And despite there being hyena tracks heading in towards that den site in the morning, it was not active either this morning or this evening. That could just be bad timing. The den sites aren't always active every morning and every evening. Sometimes adults are too far away or waiting beneath the kill for a... So it could well still be around, but we haven't seen it, Susan, and thanks for asking, and it's a useful update that everybody would like to know about, so thank you, Susan. Well, isn't this wonderful to see? I thought the show was over. But at least 5 members of this family are having a good time. The smallest of the 2 small cubs, as you can see, doesn't really back itself and doesn't spend too much time out the burrow. Already from such a young age, there can already be so much dominance and so much behavioral traits that you can read into the different cubs. Welcome back, and apologies for that small break in transmission. These hyenas sound like they're getting warmed up and could well call for us. But we are going to stay on the moon because it's too dark for us to see the hyena now. And wouldn't it be wonderful for us to hear them calling while looking at this beautiful full moon rising up over the horizon. Now you can hopefully hear them building up. The chance of a vocalization is imminent.
Welcome back, guys. Just as we were sort of getting quite desperate as it getting dark, I got a call from one of the other vehicles, the vehicle actually from Juma Lodge, to say he'd found the Nkuhumas. So we're sitting here on the side of the road as they're walking towards us. They are quite close to our boundary, so we rushed down here. And we're very, very lucky just to find them now, and hopefully they come down into our area and hopefully they don't cross again. I'm pretty sure this is the same pride as tracks we were following this morning. Oh, that's magical. All on the move. We'll have a look when they get a bit closer whether they've eaten or whatnot. Here we go. Hello, ladies. Well, it doesn't look like they've eaten anything major. They're definitely hungry and hunting. And there's the male lion down in the road being lazy. He's young and he still takes every opportunity possible to have a little sit down. Here come the two young girls. Okay, they are very close to the boundary, as I said, so... Oh, no, here he comes. We'll just keep still till he's past us. Hello, little boy.
I hear you.
Nkuhumas, foot. Oh, sorry, side lights. Too many light switches on this car. Okay, let's just turn around and switch off my side lights for now. Going to let one of the other vehicles, we had such a nice view and they are very close to our boundary, so I'm just going to let one of the other vehicles go ahead of us.
Thank you very much.
It's very important to share the sightings with everyone here. It makes for a really good working relationship with all of us. And we can help them find animals and they can help us find animals. Okay guys, so we're all still busy following them. They are moving straight down the road, which makes it quite a difficult sighting for more than one vehicle. But we will stay with them, and when it opens up a little bit, we will try and jump around in front of them. Oh no, there's a big stump in that way. Can't go through there. Oh, looks like we've got some lazy lions. There you go, you'll notice the young males lags behind. And these are quite often sitting while the rest of the pride are walking. Alex, once they get to the next boundary, I'll be able to tell you. If they cross into Buffalo's Hook, no point in extending, but if they carry on down into our property, then we will. Copy, thanks. So guys, I don't know if you heard my conversation with Alex and FC there. We will extend the drive if the lions stay in our Travis area, but if they cross into Buffelshoek, but while we have them, we will extend while they are in our Travis area. So don't worry, we're not going anywhere just yet. Okay, we're going to try a loop in front of this lazy boy and see if we can catch up with the girls. Oh, isn't that a fantastic shot? Nice. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. See the size of those canines. Absolutely incredible. Copy, thanks. So it looks like they might have decided to lie down on the road up ahead. Just going to see what Aubrey's doing. He's quite far behind us. We'll just jump in here. Wait, just listen. Don't know if you guys can hear that. That young male's just doing some contact calls. He's got a little bit far behind. So I've got some bad news, guys. This is our boundary, and there they go. So they're crossing, so unfortunately we can't stay with them, but it was a nice little end to the drive. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. I always love seeing big cats. Very well in yourself. So I'm gonna. The lines have disappeared. So the lions have left us, unfortunately. So I'm going to say good night. It was a pleasure having you with us this evening. We really do enjoy and appreciate all the questions you guys send in. And we look forward to hearing from you in the morning. I'm just going to cross you over to Scott so he can say his goodbyes. And as always, we'll see you in the morning.
Welcome back, and Andrew and I haven't moved. We're really enjoying watch this moon rise up to the east, and we're still at the hyena den sites. Interestingly enough, the adults are still here, the cubs are still out, but very close to the entrance of the hole, and the adults I think are going to be moving off shortly. And what I'm hoping will happen is that we'll then be able to follow them and see what happens as they continue their evening out and about